கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை முதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय.
मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय.
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
नमो हरिहन्तानं नमो सेदानं नमो आयर्यानं नमो वजायानं नमो लोये सवसाहुनं एसो पञ्चनमोकारो सर्वपापपनाशनो मङ्गलानं चे सर्वेसिं परमं हवै मङ्गलम् परमं हवै मङ्गलम्.
A very good day to one and all present for today's program. I take immense pleasure in welcoming you all to the day 2 of Industry Connect and Knowledge Enrichment program on the theme Powering Progress in Pharma, organized by Shri Shankarlal Sundarbai Session Jain College for Women in collaboration with Institute of Cost Accountant of India. The today's topic for discussion day 2 is Operational Excellence in Pharma. Now, I feel immense pleasure in introducing Mr. CMA Subhash Chakraborthy. He is practicing cost accountant, having 30 years of experience in the area of cost audit, information security management system, income tax, GST, and he is presently working in artificial intelligence and business intelligence and data analysis. He is a co-opted member of the Direct Tax Committee of the Central Council for the year 2021, 22, 22 and 23. Sir, I request you to deliver the keynote address.
Good evening, everybody. It is truly an honor to rise before you today as we gather to discuss and celebrate the achievements of the Indian pharmaceutical industry. This sector has not only played a pivotal role in shaping the healthcare landscape of our nation, but has also emerged as a global leader, contributing significantly to the well-being of the people around the world. We know from early days of modest production to the present, where India stands as a pharmaceutical powerhouse. The industry has demonstrated resilience, innovation, and an unwavering commitment to public health. One of the key strengths of the Indian pharmaceutical industry is its ability to produce high quality generic medicines at affordable price. This has not only made healthcare more accessible to the masses within our country, but has also been a beacon of hope for millions across the globe. Now we can say the industry's dedication to providing cost effective solutions has not only improved the quality of life for patients but has also positioned India as the pharmacy of the world. In recent years, the industry has embraced innovation and research and development with open arms. We have witnessed groundbreaking discoveries, novel drug formulations, and advancement in biotechnology that have elevated India's standing on the global pharmaceutical stage. Our scientists, researchers, and entrepreneurs are working tirelessly to bring about positive changes, not only in the treatment of diseases but also in the overall healthcare ecosystem. However, the journey ahead is not without challenges as we navigate the complexities of a rapidly evolving global landscape. It becomes imperative for us to address issues such as regulatory compliances, intellectual property rights, and the need for a robust healthcare infrastructure. Collaboration between the government, industry, and academia is essential to overcome these challenges and foster an environment that encourages innovation and sustainability. The legacy of innovation. India's pharmaceutical industry has a rich legacy of innovation. Generic medicine revolution. One of the hallmarks of the Indian pharmaceutical legacy is the revolution in generic medicine production. India's commitment to providing affordable healthcare solutions has transformed the industry into the pharmacy of the world. Drug discovery and research. While generic medicines have been a cornerstone, the vaccines and the immunization, biosimilars, and the biotechnology, digital transformation. Embracing the digital age, the Indian pharmaceutical industry is leveraging technology to enhance efficiency, innovation, and patients' outcomes. From data analytics to the artificial intelligence, our industry is at the forefront of the digital revolution. Using these tools to streamline research processes, optimize supply chain, and personalize patient care. Global collaborations. The legacy of innovation in the Indian pharmaceutical industry is not limited to national boundaries. Global leadership. The Indian pharmaceutical sector has become synonymous with reliability and quality. Embracing digital technologies such as data analytics and artificial intelligence can further enhance efficiency and productivity across the entire value chain. Here, I would like to say the leaders of the pharmaceuticals, they can use the artificial intelligence and power business intelligence software for visualizing the data and to serve their customers, the patient, and the dealers and traders as well. Healthcare infrastructure. India has made commendable progress in expanding healthcare infrastructure. Affordable medicine, primary healthcare and preventive measures, telemedicine and technology integration, public-private partnership, health insurance, and financial protection, community engagement and awareness, inclusive healthcare policies, quality and cost effectiveness, generic medicines. Here, the role of cost accountants is very important because the CMS plays a major role in the to make the company a cost effective products and to serve their patient and the global pharmacy. Robust regulatory compliance. Indian pharmaceutical industry has demonstrated a commitment to adhering to the highest international regulatory standards. Regulatory bodies such as the US Food and Drug Administration (FDA) and the European Medicines Agency (the EMA) routinely recognize and approve Indian pharmaceutical companies for their compliance with the stringent quality and safety regulations. Research and development excellence. The Indian pharmaceutical sector has transitioned from being a major player in generic drug manufacturing to actively engaging in cutting edge research and development. Vaccine manufacturing hub. Sorry, recent times, India has emerged as a crucial hub for vaccine manufacturing. The nation's pharmaceutical companies have played a pivotal role in the global fight against infectious diseases by producing high volumes of vaccines, biotechnology, and biosimilars. India's foray into biotechnology and the production of biosimilars has been another milestone in achieving global leadership. International collaborations and partnerships. The Indian pharmaceutical industry actively seeks and fosters collaborations and partnerships with global counterparts. COVID-19 pandemic response. India during the challenging times of the COVID-19 pandemic, India's pharmaceutical industry showcased resilience and solidarity by supplying critical medicines and vaccines to the countries around the world. The global community witnessed India's commitment to global health and the industry's ability to scale up production to meet unprecedented demands. Access to healthcare. While we celebrate our achievements, we must not lose sight of the primary mission, ensuring access to affordable healthcare. The industry needs to strike a delicate balance between the profit making and social responsibility, investing in research for neglected disease and expanding the research of healthcare infrastructure and creating sustainable business model will contribute to a healthier and more equitable society. Adherence to international standards, already I have mentioned it, and quality control and assurance. I can tell you that ensuring the quality of pharmaceutical products is non-negotiable. The industry has invested heavily in robust quality control and assurance processes to meet exceed global standards from raw materials sourcing to manufacturing and distribution. Each step is meticulously monitored to guarantee the production of safe and effective medicines. Good manufacturing practice, regulatory transparency, continuous regulatory training and updates, risk management and compliance audits, pharmacovigilance. And this under this pharmacovigilance, I can tell you the monitoring and reporting of adverse effects of pharmaceutical products is a critical component of regulatory compliance. Global collaboration with regulatory authorities and regulatory compliance. Green manufacturing practices. The pharmaceutical industry is progressively adapting green manufacturing practices to reduce its environmental footprint. Waste management and circular economy, energy efficiency and renewable energy, water conservation, biodiversity conservation, sustainable supply chains, transparent reporting and accountability, corporate social responsibility. Many pharmaceutical companies in India are integrating sustainability into their corporate social responsibility initiatives. This involves not only environmental initiatives but also community engagement and projects that contribute to the overall well-being of the society. Sustainability and environmental responsibility, I can tell you, as stewards of public health, it is our duty to also be steward of the environment as well. In the conclusion, I can say the Indian pharmaceutical industry stands at the cusp of the unprecedented opportunities by fostering innovation, ensuring global leadership with high quality standards, promoting access to healthcare, maintaining regulatory compliance, and embracing sustainability. We can pave the way for a brighter and healthier future. Let us collaborate, innovate, and march forward with a shared commitment to advancing healthcare, no, not just in India but across the globe. I am thankful to my president, the president of CMA Institute, and vice president of the CMA Institute, and all the Central Council members. I am thankful to them for giving me this opportunity, and I am thankful for giving me this patient hearing. Thank you. Good evening. Namaste.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your versatile knowledge in the field of pharma and also for sparing your valuable time to young generations. Now, I feel privileged to welcome Mr. CMA Rakesh Shankar Ravishankar sir, EC member of Laghu Udyog Bharat and faculty of DG Vaishnav College, the brain behind this 5 days industry connect and knowledge enrichment program to deliver the special address.
With this, I am leaving this. Okay, I've got another
Yes, sir.
appointment. Thank you. Oh,
It was a
thank,
pleasure hearing to you, sir. Thank you.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
so much, ma'am. It is a very lovely day. The weather conditions outside has made it very comfortable for us to stay at home today. And on the quality and operational excellence is a day two topic which we have planned for the today's lecture. We have an academician come industry person, Dr. Amsave, who will be delivering on the quality and operational excellence. So, on behalf of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, Laghu Udyog Bharati, and Sashun Alliance with Industry, a unit of Sashun Jain College, Chennai, I welcome each and every one of you for this wonderful lecture. Pharmaceutical industry has undergone a very strong transition in the last decade. When we talk about pharmaceutical industry some 10 years back, it was only with a group of people with the established industries. And today we are having the entrepreneurs who are starting up the pharma and the allied industries, especially the people from the biotechnology, biochemistry, the chemical sciences. The students have turned into entrepreneurs after engaging into research, like which was very evident when we had the COVID-19 pandemic. Our India, we showed the way for the entire world with Covaxin medicine, which was indigenous. We were able to undertake a lot of research. And today I'm able to see the Prime Minister's Jana Aushadhi Yojana, which has made the people to open up the Jana Aushadhi shops by giving the generic medicines, where we are catering to the poor, the downtrodden. We are able to supply medicines at a very lesser price under the generic medicine scheme with no compromise on the quality. So that is where our excellence, our the commercialization coupled with the humanitarian approach is playing a very vital role in the pharma industry today. If you take the forward, that is the future of this pharmaceutical industry. So every day we are having new viruses and diseases which are shaking the entire world. If you look at the China last week, a new type of virus is creating a fever. But with the God's grace and with the way of our life, food, and the confidence we have, India is ready to face any challenge, without having an impact on the economic growth and the development. That is the willpower our Indians have got. And apart from this, every day the R&D departments of the pharmaceutical industry, they are trying to create value addition. They are trying to improve on the existing medicines. My concern is that whenever we talk about the allopathy, that is the medicines, we always talk about the side effects also. The pharmaceutical industry should come forward to mitigate or to minimize the side effects. Wherever possible, there could be a combination of our Indian medicine. We have got Ayurvedic, homeopathy, Unani. Wherever possible, the combinations of such medicines to be combined with the allopathic drugs if possible. And we need to reduce the impact of or the side effects of the medicines. I'm sure the pharmaceutical companies are on their toes in this particular theme of research. So without much delay, we should hear to Dr. A. Amsavel, who is from the quality assurance and from the research and development unit of a leading pharmaceutical company. So with this note, I thank the organizers and all the three institutions, Sashun, the ICMA, and Laghu Udyog Bharati for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable speech. Uh, Now it's time to start the technical session day 2 on the topic operational excellence in pharma. It's my honor to welcome Dr. A. Amsavel, Assistant Vice President of Quality Regulatory of Maladi Drugs and Pharmaceutical Limited, and who has 34 years of professional experience in various chemical and pharmaceutical industry. He has completed his MSc Analytical Chemistry in University of Madras and PhD in Anna University. Once again, I welcome you, sir, for this knowledge sharing session. Now the floor is yours.
You. Thank you for a warm welcome, and thank you for all the organizers and associate organization and institutes, and also the participants. Of course, it's a Saturday evening. People are weekend. People are enjoying these things, but you put in listening session to everyone. We hope that everybody will enjoy this session. This topic is operational excellence in pharmaceutical industry. More on operational and quality related things, I can able to give you some insight to you related to this. The introduction is related to the first. We will talk about the drugs and the Indian industries and drug development process, manufacturing and quality excellence, and good manufacturing practices, which is very vital for I can say the legal requirements or statutory regulatory requirements to meet when we manufacture drug products and bulk drugs, and risk management, data integrity issues. Next. Yeah. Well, the history of drug and pharma industry is not only come recently. It is as old as the human civilization. We know, yeah, gentlemen. Now we talked about not only allopathy, also other Indian medicines or other folk medicines in other countries. We know that very well. Ayurveda, Siddha in India are very traditional medicines, and also traditional medicines China, and also many centuries ago, the Romans, Egypts are using drugs spills for treating the ailments. The modern medicine started from the discovery of vaccine by Edward Jenner for smallpox in 18th century was the first modern medicine. Then later on, it was actually a smallpox vaccine was is from the development of bio process from the existing cells. But synthetic medicine invented by Bayer, the first medicine was aspirin. Even today is one of the highest production medicines, that is about 40,000 in 2021. After the discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming, the discovery of drugs are speeded up. Today we are seeing all type of diseases, all type of medicines. Come to the Indian pharma industries. It is growing as fast as IT industries. India is manufacturing quality medicines at affordable cost. The market size is more than 3 lakhs crores and expected to grow 7 lakhs crore in 2025. This was a projection. Indian pharma industry third largest in the world by volume and 13th largest in terms of value. India will be the first in terms of volume by 2030. It is a projection by various analysts. Indian pharma industry growing around 12 to 20% against the global average 6 to 8%. Comes to that, Indian industry comprises of nearly 11,000 small sectors and 300 to 400 organized medium and large sectors. Come to the production or the medicines which we are manufacturing. 90% of drug consumed by us is our production within India. 60% of global demands for vaccine is produced in India and supplied to the world. And 80% of world antiretroviral drugs, that is what called as anti-AIDS virus drugs, it is supplied from India. And 40% of our generics consumed by US, in terms of 25% of their requirement are imported from India. And if you take it global generics, about 20% of global generics we are supplying from throughout the world through WHO and several health foundations. That means 1 in 5 of pills people are taking in the world is from India. We should be proud of that, because we are making a quality medicines with a very low cost. We are exporting more than 200 countries to developed as well as developing countries. Next, please. Comes to the pharma industry, it is governed by a law, several regulations and stringent regulations. Comes to the chemical manufacturing, if somebody wanted to make a one product, they can easily make and come to the commercialization. Whereas in pharma, it's not like that. It takes about 10 to 15 years to launch one new drug, and cost of around $1 to $1 billion we have to spend for comes out of the blockbuster drugs. Come to the pharma industries. The pharma industry is contributing to the society by innovation of new drugs for treatment of all new diseases. We know very well that last few years, we have suffered a lot on the COVID-19 virus, and very quickly the pharma industry turned around and developed a vaccine for this COVID-19 virus, and we overcome that in a short period. Similarly, there are some life-threatening diseases like ARV, cancer, so many diseases we are heard about in these decades. All are treated or taken preventive medicines, or maybe a life extension medicines are developed in a quick period and providing to the society and people extend the life cycle. Of course, there are scientific and financial challenges in the pharma industries. As I said, to develop one drug, it takes a $1 to $1.5 billion dollars, whereas if fails, all gone into the drain. And the regulations are very stringent, not like chemical or some other product, automobile or anything which we make and go to the market, but governed by a lot of regulations, because it's treating the people instead of that treating. If you are having a problem, it kill the people. So the rules and regulations are very stringent for pharma industries. Next. I'll touch, before going to the excellence, the drug discovery process, how the drugs are started developing from research to launch into the market. This having a different state of phases of medicines discovery and development, preclinical research, clinical trials, approvals by the regulatory agencies, and marketing and monitoring post-market for safety monitoring, whether it's having a side effects or having a subsequent long-term effect on the people. These are the various stages in drug development and usage process. Next. Yeah, the drug discovery is starting with the identification of disease, then isolating the proteins of the disease molecule, and finding the target chemicals which will treat the tissues. And it maybe it's not be one molecule or this thing. They have to develop a multiple or hundreds of molecule to check the efficacy and the treatment. Then goes for preclinical stage, that is animal study. Then goes for clinical study. Then goes for the manufacturing and formulation. Formulation is a different type of drug delivery. It's maybe a tablet to injection. Then comes to the manufacturing approval from regulatory authorities. Then only it comes to the market. This is the period takes it. See, during discovery, when the screening is done, say this approximate thumb rule, or I can say these are the average in the past history. When they start with the 10,000 molecules in the discovery stage, it comes to around 250 chemicals, comes to the preclinical stage, animal studies. Then goes to further low 10 to 20 drugs in the clinical space, and one will be the successful. Next, as you know that it's a preclinical stage when they start with the various type of animals, depends upon the disease, and after checking the toxicity, then decided to go for human study, that is a clinical trial. Next, the clinical trial has different phases: phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. Of course, phase 3 is up to the testing period, and then comes to the treatment. The phase 4 is the post marketing monitoring. The phase 1 is studies with the limited number of people, healthy volunteers. Then once it is successful, the phase 1 basically whether is having a major toxic effect, side effects, all these things are done in the phase 1. Then goes to phase 2. Then they select some disease people who has a particular disease, and they test with a limited number of people, 10 to 100 people. Then goes to phase 3, larger population with different genders, different age, different race, all these they do in the phase 3. After this is successful, then goes for formulation and distribute to the people for treatment. Next, drug delivery. As we mentioned, the drug once is manufactured as a chemical, then it is formulated based on the treatment process. How the drug delivery is happening, like a oral or topical or parenteral injection or inhalation. These are the different type of drug deliveries are there. They have to formulate with the adequate concentration, that means a dosage, then it should reach the target organs for treatment. This is a drug delivery process. That's where they are formulating with other chemicals how this will deliver to the body, human body. Next, the purpose of each stage is pre-discovery, understand the disease to be treated, identify the drug target, test the target for research feasibility. Then discovery starts, developing a molecule. There they optimize the leads, that is a target molecule, for safety and effectiveness. The preclinical stage purpose is to lead the laboratory testing of animals by in vitro or in vivo. Develop the test process for drug for clinical trials. Then comes to clinical trials, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. There they find the safe dosage range, establish the proof of efficacy and side effects. Then also they find that the efficacy, adverse effects in a large population of patients. Then the entire data they collect with the different, I can say, functional activities, like from medicinal doctors to researchers, pharmacologists, toxicologists, all are involving in this stage. They prepare a report, then goes to regulatory approvals. The regulators review whether that submitted data are it's trustworthy, as well as it's having a proper study done, and then efficacy. Then they approve for manufacturing and commercialization. Next, this is up to that the drug discovery process, development and manufacturing. Comes to the manufacturing. Here we talk about the manufacturing excellence. Of course, once comes to the manufacturing from laboratory or development laboratory to the scale up, they do a pilot scale or commercial manufacturing scale, different sizes. There, the challenge is how to produce with cost effective, competitive, safe, and reliable and compliance to the regulatory expectations. These are the challenges. There, this is to be achieved by optimization of production process and ensure the efficiency and consistency of the product and reliability. Say, suppose we are doing a generic, whether the generic medicines which you produce is equivalent to the branded discovery process, that has to be ensured by checking the bioavailability and bio equivalent studies. Then compliance is that is a biggest subject that we'll see later. We have to ensure that whatever we produce according to the procedures, according to the dossier we submit to the regulatory agencies, and also various guidelines published by the regulatory agencies to ensure that we are meeting all the requirements. That has to be ensured. And come back to quality excellence. The quality excellence has to ensure that the product which we are manufacturing is safe and effective to the patients. There is no risk to the patient. That has to be ensured by quality excellence. Next. In manufacturing quality excellence, there are various elements we can talk. It is not limited to what I am discussing here. There could be multiple other elements, but the major elements for achieving the quality and manufacturing excellence is manufacturing process, automation and technology integration, quality by design. During the development stage, ensure that there is nothing goes wrong and they have to do a challenging study. And facility design. Facility, we have to build a facility, ensure that there is no possibility of contamination and all these things that we'll see later. Good manufacturing practices. This is what important in, I can say this is what we have like Bible or Bhagavad Gita. And quality control, quality assurance activities, regulatory compliance by regulatory departments, supply chain integration, continual improvement, operational risk assessment, and data integrity. These are the major area which I am covering, but there could be so many other elements to be discussed to ensure that we are we are achieving the manufacturing quality excellence. Next, please. We'll go one by one. The manufacturing process. We have to, the manufacturing process to be efficient or excellence by implementing lean manufacturing, TPM or TQM, first at right, minimizing waste and improve efficiency, cost-effective manufacturing, predictive maintenance to reduce the downtime of equipment. This is again, there could be other elements also can be discussed. These are major we take for achieving the manufacturing excellence. Next. If you have any particular area, if you need, I can explain later. I go through the summary. Then if you want to go detailed thing, I can discuss later. Because of the shortest time, I cannot able to give you explanation or examples to every activity. Second, the manufacturing excellence can be achieved by automation in the manufacturing process and technology integration. Say example, reducing the manual operations, because manual operations will have an inconsistency in activity. And use of advanced technologies, you know that SCADA, like what we are doing in the CNC kind of things, we are also can implement automation in the manufacturing process. And modern equipments. every need when arises, we have to look for a new modern equipment. We have to design the new equipment and use the suitable equipments. Automation to enhance consistency of the process, sustaining the process, speed and quick cycle time, and sustaining cycle times. And also process analytical technology. That is, say now the conventional manufacturing is said manufacture the material, give it to quality control for testing, wait for some time, and after approval you take for next stage. Instead of that, there are some automatic process analytical technology. The analysis is done online during the manufacturing itself to enhance the productivity and efficiency. Next, the quality by design. During a R&D stage, there's two different activity which we can talk about. One is a drug discovery and process improvement or process development. There are two different activity in the research and development process. One is discovery is something different. That is a big company they do. But medium-sized company, what they have to do is they have to optimize the process, cost-effective the process design, or different route of synthesis all can be done in the process development stage. There they have to implement a QBD concept, that is a quality by design concept. There they have to establish the process by various trial and error, or I can say the design specified design. And also while making the establish the process, they have to challenge the process is not going wrong, or by different uh, experiments, or challenge each chemical or each process, each activity. It will not go wrong by doing the challenge studies. And design, oh yeah, just before that, yeah, design the process to consistently throughput and delivering the quality product. What happens here, when they do a process, it should work in the manufacturing large scale, and also it should stable until the shelf life of the product. If something goes wrong, when we make a product and make a formulation and goes to the market by 1 year, 2 years later, it is fail, the product is not stable, then entire effort, whatever they did, is everything goes wrong. So the quality by design all should take care while developing the process. Next, facility design. The facility, there is a separate guidelines are available for designing of the facility. One is where the facility has to be located. There is a requirements, and the equipment, how to be choosing the equipment. It should be a cleanable, easy cleanable, and uniflow direction. All these things are established during the facility design. The facility requirement needed depends upon the product which you are manufacturing. Suppose we do as a paracetamol, this may be a requirement of less uh, requirements. When we go to the say cancer drugs or hormones, this require different kind of designs. So the facility design has to be ensured that it meets the end product requirements. Not only that, capacity planning and flexibility of product mixer. We cannot design only one product we can take in the particular facility. It should be flexible to take multiple products, because we may not have only one product continuous manufacturing supply to the customers or in the market. The volume is less, we may be taking in a campaign basis. So the facility while designing should we should have a flexibility to take multiple products. Optimize the capacity planning to meet the demands. Build flexibility into the manufacturing process to adapt change in the market needs. So the facility to be ensured the meeting the requirement as well as the product what we are making. Next, good manufacturing practices. This is very important in pharma industries. Unlike any other chemical industry or other manufacturing industries, do not have this kind of stringent guidelines, and the watchdogs, the regulators are very stringent. If they do any wrong thing, if we know that they are giving a warning letter, they cannot make product, they cannot sell into the market. That kind of stringent action will be taken against the people who do malpractices. Though, so good manufacturing has to be implemented in sense of spirit. There are the manufacturing company should adhere to the GMP guidelines and should have a policy and commitment by the management, each people. Conduct regular GMP training to each and employee, should not do any wrong thing. And of course, internal audit to ensure that people are doing correct activities. Compliance to associate GMP guidelines. Not only the GMP guideline, there are several other associate guidelines. To suppose, say, example, that product is failing, one batch is failing. How to that failure has to be handled? There is a different kind of guidelines are available. If it is product is a failing, how that is to be stability to be established and how to be handled. This kind of associate guidelines are there that's to be ensured in manufacturing as well as the quality. Then comes to the quality control and quality assurance. The quality system has to be ensured in pharmaceutical companies. Unlike other companies, they need only ISO 9000 or certain guidelines or the product specific standard. Here, not only a product specific standard, the entire process standard has to be established, including quality system. The quality system, separate guidelines are available called pharmaceutical quality system, that ICH quality guideline 10. There, the quality assurance is a department and quality control is a different department. The requirement is quality control and quality assurance should not report to the production head or the common head. So they should be independent. They should be acting independently, taking decision independently. They should not go along with the production people. That is a requirement. So quality assurance ensures the GMP is implemented properly, and they monitor and ensure that GMP implemented throughout the facility. And they are define the role and responsibility of each people. Quality control activities done effective process monitoring and control to prevent the failures. And conduct periodic GMP audits by quality assurance team and ensure the corrective action, preventive action taken against the observations what comes out of the audit observations. And also failure investigations. Any deviation happens, they have to investigate, find out the root cause and take a corrective and preventive actions. Next. Then regulatory compliance. As we mentioned, the regulator is a watchdogs, monitor the companies and they do audit once in a while. Depends upon the risk of the product. Maybe once in a year or two times in twice in a year or thrice in 3 years once. Depends upon the risk of the product. The monitor regulatory regulatory, there must be a department within the company. Their role is to monitor regulatory trends, recent trends and informations. There are any new requirements that comes from the regulatory need. They have to ensure and give information to the management as well as the departments to implement the recent trends or recent requirements. Proactively address the regulatory changes and updates, liaison with the regulatory agencies and ensure the requirements are implemented and submit to the regulatory agencies. Produce the procedure to align with the evolving regulations. These are the regulatory department's role, and they have to comply the manufacturing and quality. Next. Supply chain integration is like any other company also here, but some more additional need in the supply chain integrity. One is a qualification of vendor. The qualification of vendor in ISO standard is slightly different. In GMP is much more stringent. The quality of vendor not only by just seeing the desktop evaluation, they have to audit like regulatory requirements, and they have to ensure that company also following GMP requirements. Ensure seamless integration to the supply chain for timely and efficient material flow. Collaborate with suppliers to enhance supply chain efficiency, and ensure supplies meets the stringent quality standards, and ensure the relationship with the reliable supplier, consistent supply, and they do any small variation or changes that is impacting the drug quality. So the supply chain or the manufacturer of the starting material also to be monitored by supply chain and quality assurance departments. Next. To achieve the excellence by cost effective, continual improvement is required to sustain and improve the profitability, efficacy, quality, cost, everything. There, some of the activity which you can achieve or implement. One is the cost reduction, minimization of waste, sustainable practices to reduce energy, green manufacturing initiatives, and resource efficiency. Monitor key quality metrics regularly. Corrective and preventive action based on the facts or data driven. Collaborative approach with all cross-functional teams like production, research and development, quality, and technical service or project departments to achieve continual improvement. Without improvement, company will not sustain. Next. The operational risk management. There are two different type of risk managements are there. One is operational risk management and quality risk management. Operational risk management is ensure the uninterrupted production and develop a contingency plan and potential disruptions. So this operational risk management, of course, quality risk management we'll see later. And the people who work in the pharmaceutical industry has to be evaluated for experience, educational qualifications, training, and skill development. They have to, before taking up the job, they have to we have to train and qualify the people. Even they have a qualification and experience, when they come to the company, they have to be qualified for their system, their requirement, their process. So investment also required in the training program to enhance the skill of manufacturing quality personnel and develop a skill workforce for advanced technology to ensure that we are meeting, of course, for continual improvement as well as sustaining the manufacturing. Next. In addition to that excellence, there are other two more area which we see that is one is the data integrity. Data integrity is about a decade-old subject. There are several company. The data is nothing but the manipulation of data, which gives a integrity issues. Suppose the people do something differently and they write differently, which is lead to a problem. Or I can say other way, just we'll come back to go back to clinical trials. They say when they are doing a clinical trial, say in the end of the phase 3, some adverse effect is there. They do wrongly document that there is no problem because of the money, time, effort which you are goes wrong. Waste. If they do wrong thing, what is it? It is called data integrity. So the organization should have a data integrity policy and implement data integrity, ensure that accuracy and reliability of the data generated in every places like research and development, manufacturing, quality assurance, quality control, and supply chain. Train all the people, they are doing a correct thing, they are recording the correct thing, and follow the correct integrity principles. There are some elements given in the integrity principles, and ensure that they are doing a good practices. And training and competency. The people who work in the pharma industry, there are some not only skill, also personal hygiene is very important. Personal hygiene, there are the from the governing procedure to the people who have a disease, and they should not be working in the area, and also they have a kind of um, certain year in stoppages are there, or prohibitions are there. They should not the eatables should not be taken, smoking should not be done, and certain lot of restrictions are there in the manufacturing area. And people are carrier of microbiology or bacteria, so people should be clean. And also when they are manufacturing, when they are coming out, they should be clean. When they are working in a very toxic chemical, when they are coming out, they have to be detoxified. They have taken all precautions before go to the home. There are some uh, requirement for as a personal hygiene, like a disinfectant, governing. These are the things. Next, now we'll go to the core area of GMP requirements. Why GMP good manufacturing is very important? As we told, it's not like a food, or it's not a chemical which can be used, and it is not having any impact. But when we take a medicine, contaminated product, or having any impurities which will have a side effects, or having defect, rather it's a curing the ill, it will kill the person. So the GMP is very important to ensure that the product starting to end all are done in properly. The simple say is, what is tested is not sold. The product what we are getting in the formulation in a pharmacy, it was not tested. It's a testing was done on the whole batch size. The and the what is sold is not tested. What is tested is not sold, or what is sold is not tested. So the quality of the product is not testing a product. It should be built into the process, manufacturing process, by controlling to maximize the probability that the finished product will meet its quality requirements and designed specifications. The net result of the product should be quality, it should be safe, it should have effectiveness when we use the product. So each step of manufacturing process, manufacturing is not the production. From procurement of material, storage of material, testing of material, processing of material, testing in process controls, then subsequent physical activities, and goes to the formulation, storage of material, distribution. Every process has to be monitored and controlled, so that the product what these people consume is quality and safe and efficacy, that is effectiveness. Next, the people who default the GMP is a problem. There, the consequence is, suppose the regulatory agency comes for inspection, they report the observation as a violation of good manufacturing practices, and that leads to warning letter. Once the company gets a warning letter, they cannot sell product into their country, specifically US. And all stringent regulatory bodies are only US, UK, I can say Australia, uh, South Africa, and European countries, Japanese, all they have their own standards. So once they get a warning letter in one country, it's difficult to sell any other country. So the violation of GMP should not be there in the manufacturing companies. Either it may be a bulk drug or it may be in the formulation. Then if something goes wrong, the product has to be recalled. If you are not following GMP or some problem happens, product failed, then recall is a big headache to the company. Suppose that we sell the product, that one is that the formulator made and then sold into the market. They have to recall from the pharmacy store to even the people home. That is a level of recall. If wrong medicine taken, I think you people know that very recently there are two different countries have a problem of some of the cough syrup. They used glycol that is containing a toxic chemical like a monoethylene glycol that kills several childrens. So that kind of activity, that kind of mishap should not happen. So they should follow GMP. Then Shri, once they comes a warning letter, they will not, they seize the product and go for injection and debarment. Not only company, the default quality person also will be debarred from working. It is in the US, it's not in India, but in US that is debarred. They, once they debarred, the candidate put in the candidate name put in the federal register, they cannot do any pharma company in any other pharma companies. And also fines to the companies and imprisonment also possible if the violator doing continuously. Next. The good manufacturing practices has a different guidelines. The US, they have US FDA, Food and Drug Administration has a code of federal regulation 210, 211 is a guideline, and ICH Q7 GMP guidelines for industries. Similarly, Eudoralax Volume 4 European good GMP guideline. World Health Organization has a GMP guideline, and India has our own guidelines called Schedule M, and also PICS countries like Australia and other countries, they have their own guidelines called PICS. All are almost similar except certain areas are different. So the GMP guideline mostly now all major pharma companies, pharma industries like Japan, European, and US, all are following ICH Q7. So most of the world recognizes ICH, International Conference on Harmonization Q7. That's the Quality Guidelines 7, which describes about GMP rules and regulations. Not regulations, it's GMP guidance. Next. This has a 20 chapters. In 20 chapters, first one is introduction, second was quality management. The quality management describes the responsibilities of quality unit. Quality control, what is the role of quality control, quality assurance, and responsibility of production activities, and do internal audits and ensure that the GMP is implemented properly and take a corrective action in case of any deviation. And product quality review, this is like what we call a Jambabandi kind of thing. It is, you have to monitor the entire year whatever manufactured, review the entire quality data, and ensure that any deviations are there, take action. Next one is a personal. We talk about a personal qualification, competency, skill, all these things. In addition to that, we discuss about a personal hygiene. These two are important, comes under the personal management, describes what are the activity related to the personal in the people working in the pharma industries. Next. Building and facility, it talks about how the building to be designed and facility to be designed, and how the equipment has to be installed, and utilities like the clean room operations where we have a clean facility, uh, and water, how the water quality to be used in the process, the called purified water, and ensure that how the contaminants are prevented, including environment, lighting, environment, everything. Next, so process equipment. The process, this topic describes about the design and construction of the equipment. Equipment, what is the material of construction? It should not leach to the product. It should be withstand the different temperature, pH, and so many other things. And also, it should be easily cleanable. And equipment maintenance and cleaning, and the cleaning has to be ensured that one product cleaning is efficiently cleaned and should not contaminate the next product. So this should be established. And of course, whatever the equipment, analytical instruments used, including the process equipment, process instrument, has to be calibrated periodically and ensure that we are getting consistent manufacturing quality. Next. Documentation and records. This is very, very important in pharma industries. Documentation records, how to every activity to be based on the master instructions. We should have a procedure for everything. We should follow according to the procedure. Whatever we are doing should be recorded properly. The regulators will say, if you are not recorded, it is not done. So every activity has to be recorded clearly, elaborately, with traceable. And equipment cleaning record, manufacturing record, usage record has to be maintained. Records for raw material receipt, testing, and intermediate testing, labeling. Whatever the product label what we are making has to be controlled and appropriate. Packaging material. Of course, packaging material is also very, very important. It should directly link to the stability of the product. And manufacturing process to be detailed and has to be maintained the records. Called batch production records, laboratory testing records. I'm not getting the third batch production. Everything has to be recorded properly and maintained until the product shelf life plus 1 year. The record has to be maintained in the manufacturing places. And certain documents has to be maintained until the life cycle of the product, say validation documents, qualification of equipment documents. The person who is training, personal records has to be maintained until the person is leaving the organization, and also in addition to that, until the person manufacturing the product, until the product shelf life is maintained. And materials management, of course, is what we are supply chain management is not, we are not going to discuss elaborately here. Vendor qualification, receipt of material, quarantine of material, testing and approval of material, and issue, everything has to be documented properly, maintained properly. And storage, suppose certain equipment or certain materials are to be stored in a certain special condition, we have to ensure that we are maintaining special conditions. Say example, vaccines are to be stored in a refrigerator. What we are seeing in pharmacy, it is extent to that. So manufacturing company also should have a cold storage, a refrigeration storage, or control room temperature. Comes to production and process controls. Each process has to be according to the development report, and the cycle time has to be clearly mentioned, how much time that process has to be done, and which stage the sample has to be tested, and test quality of in-process control specifications to be maintained. contamination control. How best we can, the entire manufacturing to prevent the contamination has to be designed, controlled, and documented. Next topic is a packaging, identification of labeling and intermediates. The packaging, as I mentioned, that packaging material, suppose the product is packed in a glass bottle or in a plastic vial or in a aluminum wrapping or LDPA tablet, everything. So that has to be controlled. The packaging material has to be controlled, procured properly, documented, tested, not only for this one, physical appearance, the quality of packaging material, and the stability of the product, what we are established based on the packaging condition. So when we are changing the packaging material, it directly affecting the product quality. So all these things to be controlled in this section. Described clearly how to do that. Storage and distribution, as we mentioned, that storage, different kind of storage requirements, maybe a ambient temperature, control room temperature 25 degrees centigrade, refrigerator 2 to 8 degrees centigrade, and cold storage even below 0 degrees centigrade. Everything are as designed during the development stage has to be ensured entire manufacturing to supply chain and until the consumption. This is a requirement. And distribution, the distribution also be controlled, because any other product, when we are supplying material or carrying any other product should not contaminate the pharma product. So the distribution channel has to be controlled and also to be monitored, so that it is easy for recall. Suppose something goes wrong, the distribution channel, where it is gone, how it is gone, which batch, how many bottles, how many, which, all these things are to be documented. The distribution is very clearly known to easily traceable in case of any recall. This is a distribution control. Then laboratory control, the testing of raw material, in process, intermediate, APIs are tested according to the standard. One is a pharmacopoeia standard, and also comes out from the design and development stage. The standard established by each country is called pharmacopoeia. Each country has their own standard. There's a quality specification and also test procedures. Indian pharmacopoeia, USP called United States pharmacopoeia, European pharmacopoeia, British pharmacopoeia, like that. They have their own standards. Each standard will have a different quality parameters and also test procedures. These are all very important. And stability. Stability, when we are making a product, in the beginning, we have to ensure that how the product is stable, what temperature, what packaging, this is to be established, or how long this is stable. Any changes which we do, that also be monitored. Not only that, every year we have to add at least one batch of each product and monitor continuously this in the product what we are making is consistently maintaining the stability. Of course, we are mentioning about expiry of the product based on the stability data. And also, we have to maintain the batch representative sample in case of some complaint or adverse effect. That sample has to be tested and check that whatever the problem happens, whether it is related to the batch or some other problem. So, reserve sample to be maintained in manufacturing area by the quality control department. Next. Validation. Validation qualification has to be established by the policy called validation master plan. When we are doing validation, when we are going to do revalidation, And validation documentation, validation nothing but we have to take some batches to prove that the process is consistently giving predetermined quality, predetermined specification requirements. Similarly, when we are testing the product, the test method has to be validated and prove that the test procedure is robust. It's not giving any other problem. So process has to be validated, analytical method has to be validated, and cleaning methodology has to be validated. And computer system what we are using in the manufacturing process or testing process has to be validated, and it's giving consistent result. So the validation is another important area in a pharma industry to all the activity to be validated. Next. Before that, one more subject is the change control. Change management. Any change which we do in the pharma industry has to be documented. First, we have to make a change proposal, and the technical team has to evaluate because of the change, the entire activity, manufacturing, quality, stability, everything will not affect. That is the change control purpose. Even any small change which we do, procedural change or process change, equipment change, analytical test change or specification change, everything has to be evaluated before changing. If the change is done, then has to be revalidate the entire system whether it's maintaining and consistent to the previous validation. Comes to the another area is the rejection and reuse of material. In case of any failure, whether it is there is a possibility of reprocessing or reject and destroy. That again that is to be defined clearly in our procedure and followed and documented. Similarly, any recovery of material we are purifying and reusing, that should be evaluated properly whether this recovery is equivalent to the fresh material. Return is another area where the customer is returned the material. How we are handling the returned material has to be monitored, evaluated, and concluded. Complaints and recalls. Already we discussed about recalls. In case of anything goes wrong after supply of material, we have to bring back entire material and destroy it. The complaint is from industry to industry. That is a bulk drug companies manufacturing supply to formulator. It's a company, one organization, industry to another industry, where the formulate the product, goes to the public, and there the complaint comes adverse impact. We may be aware about that the talcum powder, Johnson Johnson paying a penalty of billions and billions of dollars for the talcum powder having cancer. The people used to oral used some people got a cancer, and they went to the court and they sued the company and they're paying penalty. Similarly, there are several such kind of things are there. The complaint from the what you call that adverse impact that comes from the market. They can complain not only to the company, they send a complaint to the regulatory agencies. The regulatory agents takes a complaint and investigate whether the complaint, because of the complaint, is it's related to the product or it's not relevant to that. They do a lot of investigation and they bring heavily on the companies. So complaint, different methodology and different kind of controls are required. Next. The quality risk management. When we do manufacturing, the risk management has to be that, as we discussed about two type of risk management. One is a process risk management and quality risk management. The quality risk management is focusing on the impact on the patients. When we do product, and each stage of process, the product manufacturing, how where is there any risk? In case of example, procurement of material, what are the risks involved in the procurement of material? Whether we are procuring from the approved vendor, the vendor is maintaining the GMP system or not, that risk has to be assessed. If any risk is there, identify the risk and analyze the risk and evaluate the risk. Then once all these are done, the risk control has to be established, whether the risk reduction, that is a mitigation of the risk, or risk is minimal, it is not having threatening level, so whether we can accept the risk. That is a second step. Then not only that, it should be evaluated periodically, risk review. Any change which we do, again we have to assess whether because of this change, this risk is appearing or not. Ultimately, the risk is what? Whether because of the risk, quality of material is going wrong, or efficacy of the material is have a problem. What is a risk to the patient has to be established for each and every activity. That is procurement, storage, testing, manufacturing process. Each individual manufacturing process, one is a reaction process, drying process, or mixing process, formulation process, packaging process, packaging material. Entire activity has to be going up micro level to assess the quality risk assessment. This is also very important to ensure that we are making consistent quality and patients are not at risk. Next. This is a path of quality risk assessment. Not only one time risk assessment, first time we do and we forget, but until the product life cycle, we have to assess the risk from design stage to manufacturing stage, control strategy, all the areas. Next. As we said, integrity. Again, integrity, they classify as a fraudulent. The regulator breach of data integrity is classified as a fraudulent. To ensure that the data integrity, there again the guidelines are available. What is to be done, how it is to be done, all this is very clear. The data must be complete, consistent, accurate, trustworthy, and reliable. Those characteristic data are maintained throughout life cycle of the product. This is the data integrity requirements, and if you are maintaining, we ensure that the patients are safe and the product is maintaining quality. Next. The quality means doing it right when nobody's looking. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having a strong moral principles. If we can say that being honest, even when nobody's watching, we are doing the same activity consistently and honestly. This is what the expectation from the regulatory. Regulators are not present in every time. When they come for audit and they go after completion of audit until the next inspection, the company should ensure that these are all maintained. The GMP, quality, and integrity. Next. The broadly classified data integrity principles are called ALCOA, that is attributable, legible, contemporaneous, original, and accurate. Attributable is that who performed the activity and when it was performed. That should be, say example, even we are opening the computer. The person should have a password. When he enter is making a activity, that entire report has to come in his name. He should not give a password to other person and is doing that activity. This is what breach of data integrity. attributable, legible. Whatever we are recording, the data must be a permanent and durable and readable. Should not give a confusion to the reading subsequently. Until the life cycle of the product, that document should be legible. Or take some Xerox and keep it, it's invisible. That is not acceptable. They classify as integrity. Contemporaneous. When you do the activity, write the document at the time of doing activity. If you are not doing a thing, again, this is a breach of data integrity. If you do it next day, one day you are doing and next day you are recording, it may not be real time data or real accurate data. So they are very, very serious on these subjects. And data should be original and data should be accurate. These are all the data integrity principles. They shortly call us ALCOA. And ALCOA plus there are additional elements are there that also need to be maintained by pharmaceutical industry. Next. I think this is not very these things. See, data integrity, some people, lawyer people do, and top management not knows. This is also risk to the company. That's how this tip of iceberg. What it says is the 4% problem known to the top executives, 9% of problems known to the managers, 70% of problem only knows by the shifting charges. The tip of iceberg, the 4% only known to the top management. Remaining 96% comes underlying. So the management ensures that the principles, policy, and mission, everything has to be ensured that we are meeting the pharmaceutical manufacturing requirements. Next. So how we can ensure that we have to bring organization culture, employees awareness, and the taught by the seniors, motivation of not doing wrong things, and quality systems should be foolproof, and infrastructure should be foolproof, and adequate process and technology, understanding of the process, and best practices. If you do reverse, then it will kill the organization. And efficiency, not only efficiency, the company is at stake. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you. Thank you for your very detailed presentation, sir. There are few questions which have been posted by the participants. I'm just pinning it to the screen. We have a question from one Mr. Dilip Bhatija. For GMP, is it industry standard or can company create GMP on its own?
Yeah. GMP is a guidelines available established by the regulatory agencies. The company should follow the GMP practices by maintaining their procedures based on the guidelines.
The next question is from Devashish Ganguly. Please throw light on operational or production excellence of one company against competitors for the same generic drugs.
Yeah, see, these are all benchmarking. This benchmarking is there, and there are several methodologies available to see the competitive with other companies. And not only we look for a similar competitor company, each company has set their own excellence system. Either it may be operational elements, what we discussed, production excellence or quality excellence.
Mr.
Maybe
Chelappa
it's very
Narayanan, Mr.
Yeah,
Chelappa Narayanan has raised a question. What is the process involved for manufacturing the same medicine by another company?
not required to the same process. There are different route of synthesis can be done by other industry, but the control, GM process control and good manufacturing practice has to be ensured. The process may not be required to maintain one company to another company. That's where we have patent issues and process patent, product patent, so many are there. So at last, what is produced by company A to B ensured by quality bioequivalency, bioavailability, and the other efficacy has to be proved by the second company who is different manufacturing different company. Say example, one innovator is making one particular medicine, and after that a patent expires, then process developed by that's what we call the generic. Normal companies are developing a process and different route of synthesis and they are manufacturing, but they have to prove that the product what is developed by the generic company is equivalent to the innovator branded medicine by establishing the quality, bioequivalency, bioavailability.
Mr. Hemant Kulkarni has raised a question. Can you please touch on the GMP and excellence in the light of US FDA inspections?
Okay. See, US FDA inspection is requirement for the company who makes a product and selling into the US. Before selling to US market, there are certain procedures to be followed. The company should document the process, quality, stability, and that's called drug master file. How we are manufacturing, all these things to be submitted to the regulatory agency. The regulatory agency reviews the process, and if they have any query, they will post the queries to the manufacturing company, and they have to provide the proper explanation for the process. And one is a bulk drug, second one is a formulator. The formulator they file ANDA or NDA called new drug abbreviation or abbreviated new drug applications. That is called ANDA. They have to format the product, they have to submit the called ANDA, the drug master file, to the US FDA. They review and they accept it. They will come for inspection, both the formulator and bulk drug manufacturer. They find out everything is correct. They give approval. If there is a observation, they give observation to rectify the observations. The company has to give a corrective and preventive action. They review and acceptable. They give a approval. There is a different classification, sir. No action initiated, voluntary action initiated, that is a CAPA is accepted, and action, official action initiated, that means FDA is not satisfied with the corrective action, preventive action. There leads to a warning letter or import alert. They cannot sell the product. This is the process of inspection. US FDA is one of the stringent regulatory agency in the world. This is not inspections one time happen. It is they come and surveillance. First time before approval, they come and inspect, and once this approval, then we can sell the product to US market. After that, surveillance audit they do. Once in depends upon the risk of the product. If it is a vaccine, I can say injectable, sterile, or anti-cancer drugs, their frequency may be quick, maybe higher frequency, maybe once in a year or once in 2 years. If it's a generic product, OTC, that is what we call as a over-the-counter. That product, they come a little later, maybe 3 years once, even sometimes they come for 4 years once for inspection. During the inspection, they see GMP is practiced and evidence for GMP implementation. All these are to be ensured by the company. If any violation, they are zero tolerance. This is about the FDA inspection.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for answering all the questions in a very elaborate manner. Over to CK Deepa ma'am for the summing up and winding.
Yeah.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I think I have taken overtime probably.
No, sir. No, sir. Actually, we wanted to extend your time because you have carried us, to a different level from our regular accounting to the manufacturing process and quality assurance. So I am restricting my comments because I've got TC Srinivasa Prasad, who joined us, after a meeting. So he was more interested in the subject. So he said, no, I will comment or I will give my no remarks on his presentation. We should have given him more time. So that for that purpose, sir has joined us. Over to Srinivasa Prasad, sir, for his summing up.
Yeah. Namaste, good evening. Thanks, Rakesh and Dr. Madam and Dr. Amsavel. So this is one of the rare occasions where we are being we get knowledge from the persons who are uh, producing, manufacturing, ensuring quality and all. So far, many of the programs have been done for the professionals, mainly by our own professionals. So this is one of the rarest occasions where we thought the organizers that we will get the operational people and the quality people and then listen to them and then find out how we will be able to incorporate in our work. There are two, three quick observations. We were discussing about rework, Dr. Amsavel. Normally, the rework comes in the normal manufacturing. In pharmaceutical sector also, do we have a reworking sort of thing? Like in a steel manufacturing, we can have a rework because things would have gone wrong, and then we set the parameters and then we rework. We again reheat the thing which has been done, though it involves additional cost. So this is number one. And number two, for all our members and people who are employed in the industry. So one of the very important lessons that we have learned in this is again the risk management. And whenever we go for audit or whenever we go for the consultancy, now Dr. Amsavel had listed out elaborately as to what are all the things that we should look into it as a professional. Maybe we are doing this, definitely people, but then this being a cross platform where learned professors and students and members and industry people and technology people come. So it's overall, we have learned a lot of things as to mainly how we are going to approach an industry when we want to help the industry to cost optimization and all. In fact, today's session and tomorrow's session on the quality and the impact of that quality on the cost is going to be an eye opener for at least people like us who are the cost and management experts. And Dr. Amsavel, we really thank you. I, being the chairman of the members in industry committee on which this program is being held, really thank you. You had accepted our invitation. Something like in Tamil, it said that Avat Bandhavan. No? So when you are in real trouble, a friend comes in and steps into your shoes and then take care. And then our members had, I think they may be having some more questions. Maybe they can post these feedback and questions, and then we would like to be with you in all our other endeavors, even when we go for a physical program on pharma industries, which we are planning. And really, thank you very much. And a lot of things we have learned as to how we should proceed when we do on the job. I will come back to my first observation. I would like to know as a quick, because we have to learn from you a lot. What is meant by reworking in a pharma industry? Once
Okay.
again, I thank you very much. And then I leave to the organizers after listening to this answer. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, doctor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, the entire team listening about 1 hour, more than 1 hour patiently. Really, I appreciate. And then my thanks to them. Maybe I can apologize if they are extended my time. Second one is, yes, thank you very much for the compliment from the legends in domain experts in your area. Thank you very much, sir. As told that you can post any queries, maybe from my email ID or my WhatsApp thing. I can definitely I try to give my best answer to you. Yeah, come back to your specific questions, sir. Rework. There is a two different terminology in the pharma industry. One is called reprocessing. Second one is reworking. See, reprocessing is the process. The failure happens, just repeating the same process, we get again good quality. That is the part of existing approved process. That is, say example, one purification we do. in terms of your thing, what do you call that? Some steel industry, you said. In the pharma industry, say one impurity comes, just you are repeating the same process by reaction or maybe drying. Say example, dry material is supposed to be 1% water. It should be less than 1% water. When take out the material, it say 2%. What is suggestion is dry the material and bring back within the limit by drying another 1 hour. This is called reprocessing. This extend to per reaction, so many other operations. Come to the rework. The problem, it cannot be solved by doing the repeating the same process. We have to go for a different process. That is rework. Problem is rework. Two, the regulator will not accept rework until or unless the rework is part of established process in the drug master file which is given to the regulatory. That means the rework also behaving similarly the reprocessing, the quality, efficacy, stability, everything is good. So rework is acceptable. When you do first time rework, very uncertainty. The quality, today it may be passing, tomorrow what is going to happen, will not be knowing that. So rework is not so easily acceptable when the all things are not established. The rework is nothing like new process you are doing. That is what the reworks are.
So
I
both
find
reprocessing also involves additional cost and reworking involves more additional cost. Am I right?
exactly. Yes,
Thank
it
you.
may be a difference about the process. Maybe sometime the rework may be quicker than reprocessing. We are not sure about that. That depends upon the situation, depends on the parameter what is quality failing.
Thank you,
But
Doctor.
both are cost to the quality.
Cost.
That part I did not take much. The cost to quality is that's only
That
one
we will
point.
be discussing tomorrow, Doctor. We will discuss that.
Okay, cost
Thank
of
you,
quality
Doctor.
is unwarranted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes,
Thank
Doctor.
you, entire team. Thank you once for all for the opportunity given to me. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Dr. Geeta, back to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing all your valuable time in enlightening us with pharma industry. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Said by William Arthur Watt. It's my profound privilege to deliver the vote of thanks for this knowledge sharing session on pharma industry. First of all, I thank the President, Vice President, and CMA TCA Srinivasan Prasad, sir, and respective authorities for having thought to initiate to create more knowledge about pharma industry to young generation. My sincere thanks goes to Mr. CMA Subhash Chakraborty and Dr. A. Amsavel sparing their valuable time to share their versatile knowledge to us. I owe special gratitude to Mr. CMA Rakesh Shankar Ravi Shankar, the brain behind this 5 days industry connected knowledge enrichment program, and also for delivering this special address. My profound thanks to the management principal, vice principal, and faculty of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sashun Jain College for Women for collaborating with the ICAI Institute to organize such a wonderful program. At the outset, I would like to thank each and everyone who has joined their hands in organizing this program, and also a big thanks to all the participants of the program. I request all the participants to fill the feedback link and also to join for tomorrow's program sharply at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Jai
Thank you,
Hind.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you all. Jai Hind.